These are 35 secret tricks in Lego Fortnite, starting with the most amazing vehicle hack you've ever seen. Everybody knows that one of the most frustrating things about vehicles in Lego Fortnite is the fact that they fall over constantly. It's extremely annoying, and currently we don't have any real way to flip them back to the right way again. Well, luckily I've got the perfect solution for you. All you need is a simple fishing rod. You just use it on the bottom of the vehicle and you can get it straight back to the way it should be. This amazing strat goes even further, as you can actually use it to save your vehicle from the water. Tons of people have had issues where they've driven a little bit close to some kind of lake and sadly completely lost their vehicle. But as long as you've got your trusty fishing rod, you can just use it over and over again to literally fish it out of the water, meaning that you won't have to build a new one. But even that can't compare to what's next, because there's actually a way to get infinite heals in Lego Fortnite. All you need is some really simple soil plots in the ground. Once you've got them, make sure that you plant pepper seeds inside. Once they've grown into spicy peppers, you can harvest all of them to get those heals. Now all you need to do is leave your game and return to the lobby, and then jump straight back into your survival world again. And the spicy peppers will have fully regrown, meaning that you can once again harvest them, and just repeat this process over and over again for an endless supply of heals. That's not the end of it though, because if you've got an infinite supply of spicy peppers, you can now get yourself some serious biomass. By taking these spicy peppers and throwing them straight into your compost bin, you can build up a pretty much unstoppable supply of biomass, meaning that you'll never struggle to get power cells for your vehicles ever again. But loads of players don't know about the secret way that you can stop yourself freezing to death in an ice cave without even using any charms. All you need to do is build up on top of the entrance of the ice cave and put down 4 campfires. Now whenever you go inside the ice cave, you will be completely unaffected by the temperature, leaving you to harvest all of those ridiculously rare resources without any worries. Speaking of rare resources, there's actually a way that you can hack your villagers to get things that you really need. Everybody knows that both silk fabric and wool fabric can be quite difficult to get hold of. It turns out though that if you destroy your spinning wheel and put all of your villagers on the job of creating textiles, they'll only be able to use a loom. So when you come to collect the resources from them, you are guaranteed tons of wool fabric and silk fabric every single time, because it's literally the only 2 things they can make. And talking of making things, did you know that you can build and use a launch pad without ever having to use up any of your resources? It really is incredibly simple. All you've got to do is build the launch pad and then break it into pieces. Once you've done that, you've actually got a small window where you can collect the resources and use the launch pad before it disappears. So you can now use these to rotate, and you'll never have to use up any of your valuable resources. But if we're talking about saving valuable resources, how about a way to get an infinite grappler? Make sure you're listening carefully, because there's actually a few steps that you need to follow in order to get this OP trick absolutely right. First off, drop all of your resources from your inventory on the ground, build yourself a bed and set it as your respawn point. But make sure that you've still got any grapplers in your inventory. Now use the respawn feature to essentially eliminate yourself, which will drop your backpack on the floor. You'll now respawn at the bed that you've just built, and the first thing that you need to do is pick up all of the resources from the floor that you originally dropped and spread them out over your inventory so that every single slot is filled and there's actually no room for the grapplers. Now collect your backpack, but because you've got no room in your inventory, the grapplers will drop on the floor. And finally, all you need to do is now make space in your inventory for those grapplers, pick them up, and the charges will be back to 30 again. And whenever you start to get low on grapple charges, you can just repeat this process and you'll never have to craft another one again. We're back to hacking villagers again though, because this is the best way to get the most powerful heals in Lego Fortnite. Make sure that you've got at least 1 oven in your village, and you then need to go around and destroy any grills or juicers that you've also got. Now stick every single villager that you've got on the job of cooking food. And when you collect the resources from them, the only things that they're going to be able to give you is the top level heals that are made with the oven. Say hello to your endless supply of the most overpowered healing items that we can get. If we're talking about things that are overpowered though, we need to talk about the brand new Illuminator. If you haven't done it already, make sure that you craft one of these things. It makes using torches completely and utterly pointless, as you can just slot it in next to your glider, meaning that you no longer have to carry torches in your offhand, and you can now keep that for heals instead. Fighting and eating at the same time is now going to be so easy for you. But how about a way to make fishing even faster? Without a harpoon gun in Lego Fortnite, we all know that collecting fish can take quite a while. Well, you can now massively reduce the time it takes to do that by crouching every single time you catch a fish. This will stop the animation in its tracks, meaning that you can carry on fishing and it will be way quicker. And if you're looking for things to be a little bit faster, make sure you're using this next trick. When you're adding enchantments to a tool, always make sure that you go for triple damage instead of triple durability. Because triple damage means that you destroy everything way faster, which actually automatically makes the durability of the weapon better. Because obviously you're harvesting things way faster, which means that your tools take way less damage, which essentially makes the durability essence completely pointless. If we're talking about adding essences onto pickaxes, this next trick is going to basically double your farming methods for rare resources. You just need to set yourself up 2 different pickaxes. The first one is going to have triple damage essence on it, and the second one is going to have triple luck. And then if you're looking to harvest something really rare such as ruby, all you're going to do is first off hit the ruby with the triple damage pickaxe, meaning that you'll wear down its health massively, and then finish it off with triple luck. Because when you do this, you're going to have a pretty high likelihood of harvesting 4 ruby instead of 2, and if you repeat this process over and over again, you're going to end up with twice as much of these rare resources. All of that hard work is going to leave you pretty hungry, meaning that you're definitely going to need to eat some food. And most Lego Fortnite players know that you can actually do that on the move now. But you may not have realised that you can actually take that to the next level. Because you can actually eat and heal yourself up whilst you're gliding, as long as you put that item in your offhand. Healing and gliding at the same time, it's absolute genius. But maybe not quite as clever as stopping yourself getting blown up. Anytime that you go into the lava caves, you'll probably know that the skeletons that throw dynamite at you can be an absolute nightmare. Well, not anymore if you're using this trick, because you might not have known that as long as you've got a shield out, you can literally block the dynamite explosions. You'll take absolutely no damage when doing this, making the areas far more safe. But that's not the only thing that your incredibly useful shield can actually block. Because if you decide to start a fight with one of the most difficult enemies in the game, a brute, it can be extremely useful against these. If the brute decides to try and wipe you out by spitting one of those giant green balls at you, all you need to do is hold out your shield and you can block these completely. The most OP enemies in the game maybe aren't so powerful anymore. Taking things back to the lava caves though, skeletons throwing dynamite at you aren't the only problem you're going to face in there. Because finding your way out of there when you've done a ton of exploring can be much more difficult. Luckily, a really easy solution to this is build a trail of campfires as you go through the cave. Then when you want to leave, all you need to do is follow these campfires back to the exit and it's not going to be an issue for you. And as you retrace your steps, you can even destroy the campfires if you want to, meaning that you won't use up any resources. It's not the only amazing thing you can do with campfires though, because they actually hold a hidden secret that you can use to make your villages look incredible. It makes absolutely zero sense, but you can actually build campfires underwater. So if you've decided to start building a village on a waterfall to create something truly special, this is an amazing way to light it up and make it look really unique. But let's talk about charms and take a look at how this insane combination can make you literally invincible. Loads of players still make the mistake of using charms that are going to protect you against temperatures such as hot and cold. You literally don't even need to use these. All you've got to do is give yourself 3 regeneration charms. Because when you've got a triple set of these, they restore your health so fast that even things like burning and freezing can actually not eliminate you. And this goes exactly the same for hunger. If you use 3 regeneration charms, having to eat up with various heals is now something you'll technically never have to do again. Because even if you get to the point where you're literally starving to death, it won't be able to eliminate you because these will keep your health in the right place. It's not all about charms though, because sometimes your villagers are the most important thing you can use. Getting hold of a ton of biomass to create power cells can be pretty time consuming, so if you can't be bothered to do it, it's really not a problem because you can actually get your villagers on the job instead. Just put every single one of them on the compost bin job, and you'll never have to worry about creating biomass again because they will do it for you. If you want to create power cells though, you're of course going to need glass as well, but luckily your villagers can help you out there too. If you don't want to put every single one of them on the compost bin job, maybe go with 2 on metal smelting as well. Because not only will they give you copper bars, they will give you the much needed glass that you're gonna need to be able to get power cells in order to operate your vehicles. If you're not a fan of using villagers and you want to make that compost yourself, the best item for doing this is actually something you would never expect. Bones, ladies and gentlemen, bones. We now have an amazing use for this once pointless item. All you've got to do is spend 1 nighttime period farming skeletons and you will get an absolute ton of these things. Then simply stick them in your compost bin and the biomass will just roll in. If you decide to go skeleton hunting in the desert though, you can actually get hold of another resource which is incredibly useful when making vehicles. Just spend some time harvesting skeletons in the dry valley and you will get a massive amount of blast powder. And this is one of the most important things you're going to need when building thrusters, and we all know that those are really good for vehicles. And speaking of thrusters, you can actually use them to help you out when you're experiencing some serious vehicle problems. I spoke to you earlier about using a fishing rod to flip your vehicle over the right way again, but if you don't happen to have one of those with you, thrusters are a very good alternative solution. All you've got to do is attach some small ones to the side of your vehicle, connect them to whatever channel you want, and then when your vehicle decides to fall over, activate the thrusters and you'll be able to flip it the right way again. If you're not a fan of using thrusters though, there is one final solution that you can use to get your vehicle upright. Simply attach a small red balloon to the top of it and it should be problem solved, leaving you to carry on with your driving journey. And whilst you're out in your survival world, keep your eyes peeled because you could actually end up getting hold of some of the most rare resources in the game for absolutely nothing. When you're in the snow biome, make sure that you're watching out for grand chests. These are the best storage that we have in Lego Fortnite, so of course they're made out of very rare resources. And believe it or not, if you manage to find any of these out there in the frost biome, all you've got to do is smash apart these chests and you'll get the resources that they're made of as well as the loot inside. Meaning that you will get iron bars for doing pretty much nothing, and that is by far the easiest way to get hold of this incredibly rare resource. It's not the only thing that you need to keep an eye out for though, because if you're knocking around the lava caves, keep your eyes peeled for large chests. If you do exactly the same thing that you did before and smash these apart, this time you will get free copper bars. Not only that, but they'll give you a massive ton of obsidian slabs too, and everybody knows how useful these are. It doesn't stop there though, because recently the Lego Fortnite devs have added small fishing villages to the game, and you can expand your supply of copper bars even further with these. Just look out for these small blue barrels, and very much like the large chest that we just spoke about, break these apart to get the resources they're made of. And the final thing that you need to be on the lookout for is these giant crates. Exactly like the blue barrels and the large chest, smash them apart to get yourself some copper bars, and with all three of these together, you've pretty much got an infinite supply. If you're going around looking for these things all day, you're definitely going to need to take a vehicle with you. But one of the major problems with those is power cells seem to run out so quickly and you end up with no juice. But don't panic, because all you need to do is actually add extra power centers onto your vehicle, and this will massively expand the capacity for the number of power cells that you can use. Even with that though, the vehicle's durability can still be a little bit of a problem. They break apart so easily and it's incredibly frustrating, but I've got a good solution for you. Start off by smashing apart the bumper that comes as part of your vehicle prefab, and then replace it with quite a few pieces of something much stronger like frostpine. Finally, add on a load of custom decor items that are made of iron, and you've now got yourself a bumper that can plow through pretty much anything without falling apart. Speaking of vehicles, adding custom bumpers is not the only amazing thing that you can do with them. Even if you're using a vehicle as small as the off-roader, you can actually turn it into a travelling custom spawn point. All you need to do is build a bed on the back of it and set that as your respawn point, and then every single time that you die, you will literally just respawn exactly where you were. And the fact that you can transport this respawn point with you all over your survival world means that you'll never have to trek for ages to find your backpack again. And if there's anything that's likely to eliminate you out there in the world of Lego Fortnite, it's gotta be brutes. Well, the likelihood of that happening is gonna be a hell of a lot lower if you use this amazing trick. Make sure that you've got a hunting dagger with triple damage essence added onto it. Now all you need to do is learn the timing of the brute's attack pattern, and you'll be able to roll behind it and deal some ridiculous damage. Because of course the hunting dagger does extra damage from behind, and you've also got the triple damage essence on there too, meaning that this strategy is ridiculously overpowered. But it's not the only strategy you can use for trying to take down powerful enemies. Because if you ventured inside the ice caves, you will know that the bone walls are one of the hardest enemies in the game. Well, that is all about to change if you start using this amazing tip. All you need to do is make sure that you've got a crossbow and some wood. As soon as they start trying to attack you, just build a set of stairs, and because of the fact that the wolves literally can't climb up there, they cannot do any damage to you. Now you can just chill out, stand at the top and fire arrows at them until you eliminate them. This has got to be the best way to farm up cursed bones, which are probably the rarest resource in the whole of Lego Fortnite. And there we have it, people. That was 35 secret tricks in Lego Fortnite. That's pretty much everything I've got for you here today in this video. I guess I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out.